first lesson, first video. First of all, just reminders about holding a guitar like we discussed. I'm sitting Indian style here, but we're pretty much cross-legged. Well, I haven't said that in a while. Nonetheless, here we are. So arms slung around the instrument. That's how we steady it. And I'm not putting it right smack in the middle where it falls that way, but maybe a half inch to the right, where if anything, it's hanging in jeopardy of falling off to the right. And there you are. That's how you hold an instrument. So you should be able to let go over here, and essentially nothing happens. We also talked about our elbow positioning, and that, you know, if you were at about the 7th fret doing stuff, or 5th fret, you'd be parallel to your arm's natural structure. But that when we get down here to first position, your elbow's going to move off your body to where there's, like, you know, a baseball or a tennis ball size gap there or something along those lines. So right hand wise, I'm holding a pick. You can Google innumerable images of how to hold the pick. Not on your knuckle, but with your fingertip. If you find your second finger coming in to support it, no problem, as long as you don't switch to your second finger, which would happen subconsciously. So I'm just playing a little defense against that. Cool. So mainly we want to just start to enforce the way that we actually practice, which is to break things into small sections and finish as we go. Meaning you really feel like you've become competent at the section you're working on before you proceed to the next thing, as they will all be derivative of each other for the most part. Cool, so hey, we got chords, one's E, one's A. A you already knew. So right now I'd like you to just work on your strumming patterns. It doesn't matter what your left hand's doing, but ideally pick maybe one of the chords and just, actually let's make it E, because that's an all 6-string chord, no thumb defense or anything. We'll return to that concept. Nonetheless, you know, so our range of motion to hit the strings all with the same amount of velocity, give or take, is wider than we anticipate. So our first rhythm's just down strums. I might be a half step down from you, where it's all good. Just sounds good, sounds right, hopefully. Might be correct. So there we go. And that's all on the downbeat. Please stop your video and actually get comfortable with that. Now what we want to go for is like conscious focus headspace, maybe 8 total strums, then pause, do it again, reassess. Conscious focus, no slipping into looping it yet. When you feel like you're comfortable with actually doing that, like you think you're actually going to get it correctly, and this is where you get enough conscious headspace to focus on the small details, or the mini details, that only then would you move on to doing it twice total, maybe 16 strums-ish. And then, you know, that just simulates, okay, now I've done it more than once, and at that point you can spread out and start just going ahead and strumming. Obviously just down strums, not going to be that difficult to get to that level with. And then the second rhythm, we're just including up strums, 1 and 2 and... or more like whatever tempo. And like we talked about during the lesson, if you miss altogether, that's not a bad mistake. It just feels silly. Cool. Then so please stop. Work on rhythm 2. We're gonna go for 1 good one, pause. 1 good one, pause until you feel like you're good at that, and so on. Then the third rhythm is just rhythm 1, rhythm 2. It's just down, 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 up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So yeah, so same process for that. Please pause your video, work on that. And you are now playing rhythm guitar. We also did for D, and we are definitely playing thumb defense on that chord. And a D chord sounds okay, but doesn't. So the 6th string thumb defense, just be sure you're not all the way up here. Coming to the left hand, our shoulder is at rest. It's not resting on your leg, nor is it up here like this. Your thumb is in this juxtaposition, not this one. We want your hand to be out in front of the instrument adequately, like how mine is right now. And reminder with the fretting that if you ever hear notes not sounding, pick through the chord 1 note at a time, figure out what's going on. But cool, so play some free falling. If you want, you can go capo 3 and just have your part be, you know, against the Mayor recording or anything you want to play along with, and of course the entire song is literally that over and over again. But please don't prematurely move on to playing it along with the record. Just, you know, get it down. We're just working on some left-hand dexterity on its own there, and you can give yourself a break on the right-hand side when you're initially learning that, as far as trying to strum perfectly. Cool. And then there's Come As You Are on the so there section. Come As You Are. I'm not going to go that in depth into, except reminding you we don't seesaw, and that, you know, when you're here, you're just going to be sitting in place, and we show ourselves why we do that. There we go. You were playing that pretty well during the lesson, so I'm not going to elaborate. There you are, sir. I will see you next week, or whenever we set our last appointment for. I have it is on my schedule, rest assured, and it was great to meet you, man. Let me know if you have any questions about buying guitars or any of that fun stuff, and have a good week.